You got me working. I hope it's worth it. You told me you're with on my purpose.
Welcome to the Straight to It podcast. I'm your host, Tiff to Give, and we got...
It's your host, Biz.
Your host, D the Remarkable. Come on now.
Last but not least, we have our special guest.
Y'all know the vibes, your go-to guy, Pete Colon.
Woo!
Hello.
I know that's right. All right. So we're going to jump right straight into it. This episode, we will be talking about entrepreneurs. And our first question is, what inspired you to start your business? Pete, we'll start off with you.
I have several lanes now, which is I'm grateful for, but I would say my number one business is me, right? Pete Colon, the go-to guy. Like, you know, my brand now, I'm starting a new thing called the Golden Goose NYC, you know, and I pride my brand on being, you know, efficient. I was in the Army, you know what I'm saying? I'm from Panama. I know how the Panama Canal works, type energy, you know, and I feel like that's what I aim for my brand to be. So my inspiration was just that, you know, Pete is my Bronx side, where I was born and raised, Bronx, Harlem, New York, just in and out hustle, you know what I'm saying? But Panama, Cologne is where Pete Colon, you know what I'm saying, is where I learned about like my roots about, but then also, like I said, being around like that canal energy, you know, if you know, like everything from that side of the world to this side of the world has to come through Panama. Like it has to. Any import, export has to stop in Panama at some point. So when you growing up around that and you have people that work at the ports and people that, you know what I'm trying to say, it's inspiring to learn it from that perspective, from like your own land, and see people that own land and people that own businesses and run the bank and, you know, in my family, as opposed to like New York, I'm like hustling like in and out of rat traps just to take home a little, if not no cheese, you know what I'm trying to say? Just a metaphor, you know?
Right.
But that was my inspiration, just my environment and like how can I use this to like be that, if that makes sense. You know what I'm
Navigate to that type of position.
That opens me up to opportunities like clothing brands and, you know, the 420 brand, you know, branding and marketing and, you know, hosting shows and I do music as well. So, you know, shout out to ASCAP, them royalty checks help, you know. All of that, like you said, it is entrepreneurship, you know.
Keeping it straight to your roots, that's dope.
What inspired you, Biz?
Me?
Yeah.
Y'all want to hear the backstory on that? I actually had a clothing line like 20 years ago, but I stopped because two of my good friends got killed. Rest in peace, Dre Mos and Mars. They both got killed. So I was doing the Hood Affairs joint with them, but then I stopped, of course. Then I spent back or whatever, and I was like, during the pandemic, I was like, yo, it's boring as shit. We stuck in the house, we drinking liquor, went up 100 pounds, like it was crazy. I was like, so I told my big mom, like, yo, I gotta start my clothing line back. I gotta do something to stay busy, because it's like, this shit ain't it. Like, are we ever gonna come back out? So she was like, well, so what about your clothing line? You want to start that back again? And I was like, it's a lot with that. Like, it's a headache. Like, you know, the way it left off or whatever wasn't that good. I said, you know what? But I'll start it back, whatever. But now I need a name. I don't want to be branded name 20 years ago because it just don't have that same luster as like when you start something new. So I said, you know, let me just start all over from the beginning. So I was like, you know, what name can I use? So I started thinking about my kids. I'm like, because backstory is that I wasn't seeing my kids over the pandemic, long story. But I was like, let me get something to dedicate to them. That way, when I do get them back, like they could come like, oh, Dad, you know, you started this with us.
Love that.
Facts. Good looking. So I was like, my older daughter her middle name is Callie, and the youngest one name is Zani. So I was playing around with it. I was like, at first it was like the C with the Calzani. I was like, that's too cliche. Like Calzani's the C. Then I started playing around with it with the K, and I was like showing my baby moms. I was like, oh shit, like yo, it took me 8 hours, but I think I finally came up with a name. And she said, what's the name? I'm like, yo, all right, so you know, Callie's name is Callie, and the youngest one name is Zani. So I'm like, Calzani. I'm like, that shit just got a different type of ring to it. Like, the shit is like real, like Middle Eastern type, like Egyptian type shit or whatever. And I was like, I think I like this name. So my inspiration came from not seeing my kids.
I love that.
And I ended up,
you know, Ford is a business, right?
Yeah.
You know, all of them is names.
Yeah, those are all branded names.
How you created that for them. Like you said, it's ownership without them even realizing it. So
right, and everything is in their name, like the business in their name, the business credit cards in their name, LLC, nothing's in my name, everything is in their name.
I love that.
So like when they get like a little older, maybe around the teenage years, they can really like take over. Like they understand the business. Yeah, exactly. But I think like the youngest one's gonna be the boss because the oldest one just like to spin and that's it.
Right.
She loves to spin, but she don't like putting back. But she's gonna get better. So backstory is mine was over the pandemic, wasn't seeing my kids, and ever since then it's been up. Celebrities ran the joint, networking crazy, moving. It led to podcasts. Like me not seeing my children literally led to my whole life changing. I'm talking about from like clothing line, my whole different mindset with grinding and everything.
Most of it, that's the point.
Yeah, out of a bad situation. So that's how I started my business.
What inspired you, D?
Oh, me? My inspiration was basically me getting in trouble in school from banging on the desk and making beats. I used to always get in trouble.
Hip hop shit.
Yeah, Mom Duke's getting the call from school. He banging on the desk. He does his work, but he just interrupts the class banging on the desk. So I'm like, all right. So then I used to go to church every Sunday.
Right.
So I used to like sit in church and just watch the drummer play. So I'm like, I like what he's doing. I could do the same thing. I get in trouble in school for it. So I'm like, all right, let me.
Yeah, just need your right outlet, right?
So I asked him, I'm like, yeah, I could play the drums. So he was like, go ahead. So after that, started playing the drums. And then it was like, music to me is like, sometimes music speaks for me. Like sometimes I can't get it out.
Yeah,
and then I'll hear a song and it's like, God damn, I wanted to say that. And they just said it in a whole
Help you
song
form your
for me.
thoughts and shit. Yeah.
So then it was like, after that, I was like in middle school. Then that's when I like went to like the party promoting side. So I used to go to a lot of parties, and then I used to see the DJs. So I'm like, I could do that too. Shit, instead of me banging, why not just go?
What part of New York you doing the parties at?
Brooklyn.
You in Brooklyn? Okay, yeah.
Brooklyn. So I was-
Different. The Boshmans.
Yeah, the big Boshmans.
Big Boshmans.
Big Boshmans. Downtown Ting them. Yeah, they know. So I used to go to all of those, and I'm like seeing the different DJs go up. And then it was like after a while, I kept going to parties. I'm hearing the same DJs play the same things after a while. I'm like, it's 1,000,000,001 songs.
Right.
I feel like I could come in here and play stuff that people don't even hear on a normal basis, but it's
Because they're so
hot.
used to the DJ
they're so
playing
used to the regular. So
flow.
it's like
Yeah.
I feel like it's more hot songs that's out. You play those in the club, it's like it's a different vibe that you would get from the songs that you normally know.
Right.
A DJ playing that over and over. Like 3 DJs could come in the club and play the same
same
song
set.
or
Same
the same
set.
5 songs, and it's like, all right, the last DJ just played that.
I hate when they replay
Yeah,
the same song
so-
twice. I'm like, he played that already.
So that's what really inspired me to do
Flex,
it.
you
So
doing
I'm
that
like,
bullshit, but shout out to Flex though.
So I was like, I got tired of hearing like the same songs, the same DJs do the same thing. So I'm like, all right, let me put myself out there to do the same thing, and that's how we got started.
So basically since middle school.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Okay.
That's dope.
Nah, this is started from elementary school.
Oh, from there. Okay,
Yeah, from
okay.
banging on the table,
Banging for a
making
minute.
beats.
Yeah.
Other kids in school rapping. I'm just got the pins just going crazy on the table, like.
Right.
And after that, it just branched off to church, playing the drums.
Yeah,
and then from
yeah.
church. And
That's what you get nice at, especially in the church. You get nice in the
I
church.
ain't gonna lie. I'll make you catch the Holy Ghost quick.
Hallelujah.
I ain't gonna lie.
And what about you, Miss
about it.
Louise Supporter?
That's the big one to you, sir.
Come on.
Oh, to me, but everybody else. All right, go ahead.
Come on
Get to it. Yo, she be trying to do me dirty on this podcast, but
You just
not
try to
accepting
like, don't project.
she got revenge
sir.
from episode 7. Go ahead.
Anywho, whenever you drop it. Anywho.
That's crazy.
So, what inspired I Support It? That was my movement. It is my movement, and basically, I support local artists and small businesses and anything Black, and mainly being the best version of yourself. Didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm a naturally positive person. I didn't know at the time what I wanted to do with it, and I always had this hustle about me where I know how to just make a quick buck very, very fast, whether it's selling apple pie cookies or hosting an event or event coordinating something.
As long as
for
that's the only thing you're
someone.
selling.
It's what I do. And so it actually started back when I was a waitress, and I used to talk to my guests, my regulars. They used to confide in me and tell me a bunch of their personal stuff, and whenever they were doing good, I would say, I support it. And it just so happens that I say I support it all the time. I support a lot, but not everything.
Yeah, makes sense.
Everything. And so gradually as time progressed, I picked up a lot of different hobbies and I applied them to I Support It. And like the first, I started doing events. And the first one that I went to, shout out the Mary Mike House, there was this amazing vibe and atmosphere where you had vendors and all Black people selling, creating art. And then you had another room where there was people performing and singing. And you had another room where there was food. You had another room in the back where people was smoking. And it was just all in one space. And that was such a vibe. And I thought that was powerful. And I'm like, yo, I want to do that. This is something. This is special. This is like Black excellence. I support it. And so that inspired me to do all of my business endeavors and support my own Black folks.
You know, it's really what I think is really dope about your business. It's like you can't get like your regular friends to like support you for free, right? And the fact that, of course, I know what you have going on, but you support people for free, and it's people you don't even know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
That-
usually be like that though.
Yeah, that I mean, you know, it's like by you supporting people, you can link them to a whole different network and outlet that they could never link to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I be trying to tell people. Like, it doesn't matter if you like buy something from me, but the sheer fact that you sharing it, or you know what I'm saying, or supporting it. Believe it or not, it's so many people like on the offset, like that she may know that'll support my business that I probably won't ever come in contact with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why like the whole thing, like, you know, I support it is real dope because first of all, she does it, she's doing it for free. Of course, she gets paid to do what she do, but the fact that she supports businesses just like off the strength or whatever,
Right.
a person like that's gonna always win. Like
Yeah,
no
because
matter
it's more
what,
than
it's
one
gonna
way you
always
can
win.
support people. Like, and the general idea is, oh, buy my product, but it's more than just buying a product.
Right.
If you're an entrepreneur, you understand the branding behind it, you understand the marketing behind it, you
Right.
understand the product behind it, and my support could go as simple as me providing you with different vendors for better material. It's just that simple. It's so many
Your
different
network,
ways.
yeah, your network, 100%.
Right. Because everybody don't have like I know people with a
Access to
bunch of
certain
exactly.
Yeah.
I know people with a bunch of like dope ideas. I know people with a bunch of like whatever, a bunch of dope rappers, but they don't have that like like they had that like that certain connect to like the industry or whatever, they'll be on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even like linking with her or whatever. I'm like, hold on, okay, she well connected, and it's like
Nah, Tiff put her work in. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I hosted her first event in Jersey.
That was my second one.
A second one.
That was
All
great.
right, it was
yes,
close.
it was the
but
pajama puffin paint.
She had a dope event.
Yeah.
That shit was dope.
I get mad love in Jersey.
Yeah, yeah.
I love Jersey.
Shout out to
like,
Jersey, shout out to
not
Jersey.
for nothing. Like I done did a lot of dope events, but yeah, we done an event before. We've vice versa. She's hosted events with me, and you know,
We collaborated with different other vendors
100%.
and stuff.
And
Yes,
it's
of course.
important. I think. I guess what I would like to pride myself with being is like I do good business.
right.
Which, you know what I'm saying? Not even to be cliche. Like
Yeah.
I want to feel like I pride myself on that. Like if somebody
Right.
come at me
Your
like,
reputation is everything.
yo, Pete,
It is.
it's gonna be hard pressed for you to be like, yo, Pete did some funny shit. Pete
Right.
did some, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, and
Sis.
nobody's perfect. You know what I'm trying to say? You can't please everybody. That's
Right.
not what I'm talking about.
And
but
never
I want
was
to
he
feel like
ever a
whenever
people
it's
pleaser.
business, I do good business, and
Right.
that's because I
Understand
learned the
your
harsh
word.
reality of it's business, not personal.
Exactly.
Now you see, okay, like of course we all learn lessons when we trying to be. Well,
100%.
we are entrepreneurs, we're business owners, we're CEOs, we're bosses, right? We cut the checks, but there's always problems like in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like me,
Always.
Oh yeah.
I encountered a lot of problems. I'll go first. So when I first started, my son's mother, I was like, you know what? I have the ideas. I already know, like, how to design and everything. Let me just start getting merch shipped or whatever. Let me start finding vendors. So I go and I find vendors, whatever. So of course I jump on the first vendor. I'm like, yeah, this is dope. Let me get these tracksuits or whatever. Let me just order, like 200, and I'm gonna move it because I got a little network.
Right.
Ordered it or whatever. It was like a $10,000 shipment. I waited like 2.5 months. I'm like, yeah, it's coming. It's my first official joint. Never did it before, but it's coming. They shipped it. They said it's there downstairs. I'm going downstairs because we unemployed during the pandemic. We getting those checks every month. We just sitting in the crib waiting for shit to come. Go down there. It's not there. It's not there. So I'm calling DHL like, yo, what's going on? Like, I got a big shipment or whatever, and the insurance is not covering the amount I had to pay for it.
Definitely not.
End of the day, somebody signed for it in my building. She said she didn't sign for it, but she signed for it or whatever.
Where's she at? Never mind.
No fuck.
It's the hat. I got
We're
real
gonna let the
goonish.
authorities
She must have
take
been the
care of that.
flyest thief then.
Nah,
Shit.
she was some older lady, but no matter what, you can't really disrespect really older lady like that, or whatever. So I'm thinking she sent it back to her country, whatever. But I lost
That's crazy.
I lost my first shipment, $10,000. I lost my first shipment, and I did not get reimbursed.
Door a little hard though.
I mean, no, but I did like
Might
you
have to kick
sure.
her door a little bit,
Yeah,
like,
like,
I'm like,
shake her up a little
like
bit.
Yeah.
Miss Pearl.
Leave
I
you.
know you signed it. They telling me.
like, listen, I'm not from
I see
Jersey.
this
Stop
thing.
playing with me. I'm from South Jamaica, Queens.
She
Stop.
got-
Do
she
you got
a
my
pad. I
shit?
would have to leave like a leash,
Yeah.
like a note, like.
She was just like, oh no, I don't have it. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to just charge that one to the game. But now I
Nah,
know.
you know what, boss? Losses, right? Wins and losses.
Losses,
Make
so-
it
so-
losses. Right.
Me, my first bad encounter, like starting business or whatever, was taking a big L, and it was a $10,000 loss. That was my first one, and it wasn't the last one. But us being bosses and business owners, like you can't be a boss and not accept taking losses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Process.
Right.
It comes with it.
If you take no losses, you'll never learn how to win. Never, because you don't have the adversity
That's
to
part
face.
of life too. That's just life. in
Exactly,
general.
exactly. So that's my big loss. Let Pete start with his loss. I know you obstacles in the beginning.
I'd have took some L's, man.
Talk about it.
Well, so I would say it like this, from this perspective, right? Since I was 2 years old, I've been going to Panama, right? I was born and raised here. So picture you start school in September, right? My mom's was a teacher, so it ends maybe like May, right? Early May. She had a way to finagle that. I guess save up her days or whatever.
Right.
Late May, let's say like Memorial Weekend, usually we out of there. As soon as I get to Panama, I might have like a couple days of chilling, and then she would put me in school in Panama.
Right.
Since I was about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
So now that summer, I'm in school. Now I don't got to pass. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm hanging out with my cousins. You know, I'm the gringo, like they say. You know, but I'm there in that thing. I'm learning. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm in a constant state of learning. You know what I'm saying? And then come back September, start all over. The only time I really had a break throughout the year was, let's say, like Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm about to say Christmas.
And that's stupid short. That's super short, right?
Yeah.
It's cold. You can't do nothing.
So I used to look at that as an obstacle, especially when I got older. I went to high school actually for like 3 years. So I went to 6 high schools in 2 different countries.
Damn. That's kind of dope though.
Over a 5-year span.
Kinda dope.
Sounds dope.
It's kind of dope,
But she
right?
said-
You 13, 14, 15,
Yeah,
you trying
yeah.
to figure yourself out. You trying to be stable.
Yeah.
You don't know where you waking up. You don't know when you moving. You don't know. You know what I'm trying to say? It was a lot. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you start to make friends and lose friends and remake friends and you know. So I went to 3 high schools in the Bronx where I'm from, and I went to 3 high schools in Panama.
Right.
Yeah.
Throughout Panama. You know what I'm saying? So I say all that to say, like, it used to feel like an obstacle because you don't really feel like you have a foundation. So like,
Yeah.
you know, I truly believe you can't know where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from, right?
Right.
So
Right.
even though I'm in Panama learning my roots, is a lot of moving around. And then you start to also realize the contrast between what America is
Yeah.
and what your country is. So
Right.
every time I had to come back to America, it's like,
Something
oh, these
different.
funny ass clothes you wearing, and oh, why the fuck you talking like that?
So what lesson you learn? You learn like culture is different. Like
What I learned from the losses was 100% how to adapt. And if you're an entrepreneur, you
Yeah,
understand.
Yeah.
So I would say 2 things. I would say adapt, but also how to like see a trend.
Right.
Right? Like, because what would happen is I would be in New York, you know, where we set the trend, right?
Right.
I'm gonna put that out there.
That's a fact. Shout
LA
out to
stepping
New
it up.
York.
LA stepping it up, you know, in certain shit. Atlanta, shout to them in certain shit. And even like Europe in certain shit. London, Paris, whatever. But my hood, the Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn, Queens, you know what I'm trying to say? We set the trend.
Yeah.
The way we wear it is hip hop.
Jersey just follow it. You heard? You know, Jersey.
Nah,
they
Jersey,
just
because a lot
follow
of us
this
move
shit.
out there. Jersey is like the cousin.
Yeah,
you
but
know
we
what
don't
I'm
follow
trying to
their
say?
trends though.
Now
you heard?
Connecticut is like the uncle you don't really
Yeah.
upstate. Those are like the uncle you gotta kind of be like, you know.
Yeah, but everybody gonna be
watch,
like New York
what
though.
I
You
mean?
know how that is. New York is different.
It's love, right?
New York is
But with
different.
that being said, when I would be in Panama, I would be like, oh, I could see this being the trend in 2 years.
Right,
in 3
right,
years. And I would
right.
start learning like that. And then my mom would have a way of like, she would sell candy, or we had I remember like we was one of the first families on my block that had like Photoshop. It's super
Crazy.
throwback. But we had Photoshop. My moms used to make personalized cards for people.
Yeah.
And because that was the new little wave. So
Right.
just being around that and how I guess my family moved and all that, I was able to kind of learn
How to
from the
navigate, yeah.
losses that maybe stuff is not really happening to me. Maybe it's happening for me. Maybe I'm supposed to be here. So what should I learn from this? What should I pick up? As opposed to like,
Right.
It's always happened to me.
Turning that
What
into a
the
positive.
fuck?
but at first it felt like that.
Yeah.
100%. It's like, bruh, I need a break. But as I got older, Army, little shit like that, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, well.
You did the army in Panama or in the U.S.?
Nah, out here.
South,
Out here.
out here?
Yeah.
Shit, you brave
Shout out to
man.
my team, Smoke Connoisseur. They always trying to say I was from
Smoke
the,
Connoisseur,
from the
shout out.
Panama.
Smoke connoisseur.
They always try to say I'm from the Panama Army.
Oh,
That I'm like a
Tell them use the U.S.
immigrant
Army
here.
too.
Yeah, nah.
Now,
But But shout out to U.S. Army. I was a supply specialist, 92 Yankee with the 56 medevac. So that's basically like Black Hawk.
Yeah.
Medical evacuation. Type
Oh, like that
shit.
shit that just happened in DC.
But I did supply, right?
Yeah.
But I did supply, so I make sure they got all their
So you just drop shit off and then you out.
tight.
Get the fuck
shit.
out of here.
All right, fellas.
I got what y'all
Now-
need.
I got that.
DJing is hard. DJ is extremely
100%.
hard. It's competitive. Everybody want to throw in the Mac, right?
Nah,
And just have a
yeah.
I'm a
prepaid
MC,
playlist.
same shit, hip hop shit.
For a
Hip hop shit, right? So, mad obstacles. I'm never gonna have
Yeah.
you go through 1,000, but I already know 'cause I do party promoting. Some of your obstacles you first encountered doing DJ, like the support, like you know what I'm saying, the bookings.
Well, honestly, the support was there when I
Yeah.
first started. It was just the bookings. Because it was like, I'm putting myself out there. And now it's like I have to really put myself out there for people
Right.
to see me DJing. But it was like, I didn't have the confidence within myself to put myself out there.
Yeah.
So at first, it
All
was
of
a
us at
little-
first was like that.
Yeah, so at first it was hard. It was like, because I have friends. I got like bros, like some of my cool friends. Shout out to DJ Rich. That's one of my main bros. He was the one that like I was really looking up to, like watching DJ. So it was like, all right, for me to try to come in and try to be like that,
Yeah.
all right, I can't do that because they already got their mark. All right, now I have to add
your
my
own
mark
mark,
into
right.
it. So
Right.
me just finding a way in to like put myself there and put the stamp there, that was just like the hardest part for me. But after a while, I just said, you know, F it, I'm gonna just DJ, get bookings, private bookings, family bookings, start off with that first, and then it's like eventually it's
So
gonna
there's
get-
failures at first. There's trials, tribulations. There's
Oh yeah,
failures,
yeah,
whatever.
failures. Listen, I'm pulling up with a little electric DJ board with a one speaker plugged in. Failure. They thinking the whole system, all this about to come, and it's like this the start off, and it's like I went through a booking one time, and it was like they was looking at me like he ain't no real DJ. He just pulled up with a speaker plugged in.
Okay, but
Like,
you
you
got that
can't-
fire on the
This is
speaker.
what I'm
Let
saying.
him-
You
let
couldn't
him
say
go.
nothing. I had you and Auntie Two stepping all night, so you can't really say it. But
Exactly.
as a DJ, I feel like that would be a failure, not giving the full potential and having everything to start it off and
Yeah.
be in
Yeah,
front of people.
but you DJ mad parties and no lie, I've done heard like some of the best songs played at parties or whatever, and the party still won't go. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
well, that you got to go off. Of
that's
the
nothing
vibe
you
of
can
the people.
control.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
there you go.
you have
Right,
to go off
right.
the
You gotta
vibe
know
of
crowd
people. Like
control,
if
for
you could if being a DJ, I feel like you could feel the energy when you walk into a spot.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
Like if you just see everybody just standing there, just going to the bar. Okay, they're waiting for something to happen.
Right,
That's
right.
true.
You see people in there, they bumping a little bit. It's like they're just here to have a good time. They ready to leave. They're not really into the music that's
Yeah.
about to be played.
So you read the room
Yeah.
before you start DJing.
Yeah,
Like so the whole
I
night.
gotta fill the room. I gotta probably talk to one or two people. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it's good. This party nice, right? Yeah. All right, bet.
Now, how do you
See
do
how
with
you-
people that's doing like song requests? Because you know all day long.
That's
you
a
right
no-no.
there, it's like, yo, DJ,
Honestly,
play this.
That's a no-no.
Like, how
That's
do you
not
deal with that?
go-to.
Because you got your own way how you.
We don't
down.
listen to them unless we see some money. But
Okay.
if you,
Pay to play. I love that. I
That's it.
support that. I support
But
that.
I feel
I
like-
support it.
That's it. That's it.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, you want a song request? Bet. You see, I ain't playing yet. Drop something there. But I feel like, to me,
Yeah.
I don't know how other DJs would take it. If you say a song that I like, I'm gonna give you that request, but I'm not gonna give it to you right away. I'm gonna mix
Okay,
it in
yeah.
a little later.
The time is right.
Yeah, because if you give a song, if somebody come up to you for a song request and you give it to them, now
They gonna be like, "Oh, you gonna play every song?" I
they
asked.
basically walking over you. The crowd
Type
got
shit,
control
type
of you because
shit.
now everybody's gonna come to you. Hey, play this song.
Well, you played it for
First
us,
of
so you
all,
gotta play it for me.
I didn't come here to. Y'all got to pay me separately. Then if you want me to play
You go by DJ what?
DJD.
It's live.
Now your company, your slogans are supported. Like so, I can't expect people not to want to fuck with it because it's
Oh,
like
please.
you know what I'm saying? I'm
The
getting
name
you.
speaks for
So
itself.
It does.
so there's gonna always be setbacks and failures and hiccups. What do you go through starting out with your businesses? As far as like setbacks and whatever, and then
As
like
far as setbacks, okay, so I think the biggest setback was myself and getting out of my own head and understanding what it is I was trying to do and what I wanted exactly, because it was like, yeah, I want to do events like this, but I want to do it Tiffany's way. And it's like, okay, well, what is Tiffany's way? Because like, yeah, I could do it, and it's key when you have a movement and you turn it into a business, and you turn all of your mini projects and your movements into businesses.
Right.
It's key that you stay true to yourself and you stay in your lane, because that's the only way you're going to go as farther as you're supposed to go when you're in your own lane. And so the struggling part for me was just like, not so much staying in my lane, but just making sure I stayed true to what core values I wanted to do, and making sure that the people that I worked with on whatever set projects, they were aligned with what I was doing. Because I normally do like maybe 3 to 6 month collabs with different vendors or companies or whatever, where we'll partner on stuff, and I'll host their events for them for a set amount of time. But it don't last after that, and it's okay, because at the end of the day, they have their own lane, I got my own lane. Just so happened that they was next to each other for a certain amount of period of time.
You still made that connect though.
Yeah, I still
100%.
did. And it's like, it's all love to everybody that I've worked with. Thank you for the opportunity, and I'm so happy that I got to work with y'all. We got to grow in the ways that we did, but at the end of the day, I supported what I supported.
Right.
And I can only do whatever I'm doing for I support it. And then there's the thing where people will come around and they'll start doing what I'm doing, and it's like, I had to get out of my head and think like, oh, they trying to bite me, they want to just, it's like, no. I'm inspiring people. They're going to do exactly what I'm doing, but it's not going to be like what I'm doing, because they not me.
So you see how, okay, I gotta say it. So to sustain your business, right, and sustain your movement, it has to be consistent. You have to have consistency.
Yeah.
And how do you like keep the customers that you attain? How do you maintain them and sustain them? That way they're like a constant presence in your I supported movement. Because to retain people is very hard, because people's attention span is short as hell.
True. That's true. So here's how I do that. I have members. Once you become a member, my resources are Sue resources. That membership is long lasting. You become a member by purchasing a product and or a service, and then we just locked in, and it's just that simple.
So it's like
having
a cult?
someone in your no
The membership card? Because I feel like I need a membership card.
You've been a member. What are you talking about?
That's why I said I feel like I need a card, though.
It's crazy. I ain't getting one yet, but I'm gonna let her finish. So I'm gonna let her finish though.
Pull a card
We ain't getting no.
We ain't get it.
Like a
Yo,
black
Apple
card.
pay me. This how much it costs a month to be a member.
Look, free idea. You could make like platinum, like how they have the American, like the black cards.
Yeah, the card.
And you could make like tiers.
So
Gold card, you know what I'm saying? The TIFF card.
the gift card.
See?
So
The I support
here's
card.
what I do.
I'm gonna need 1%.
Oh, I'm sorry. How do you? We went completely off topic.
Yeah, 'cause
How
you
do you?
started
How do you retain the customers that you
Yes,
attain?
I retain the customers by 1, good product, 2, supporting them back and whatever, and because I know my target. My target are like-minded individuals, entrepreneurs, people that want to be better, the best version of themselves. My movement is not for haters. It's not for stagnant people. It's not for people who wish everybody would do stuff for them. It's not for them. So you're not going to like it or gravitate towards it. You're going to talk crap about it. But the people who like to be inspired, who have a dream, who have a plan, they naturally gravitate towards my movement, and they're locked into it. And it's unconditional. It like my unconditional support. Like I get excited when I see people win. When my people win, I'm reposting it. I'm telling people about it. I'm screaming it to the rooftops. I cry and crazy. You know the vibes.
You Libra too?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's that Libra shit.
Jesus Christ.
Hey,
It's 2 of them.
Balance. Now you got the full
That
balance.
was real balance.
Male, female.
Lord.
Yeah.
She was outnumbered last week. She needed you
Yeah,
last week.
facts. I ain't gonna lie. She needed help last
the
week.
recruit.
Her and what?
I didn't need help. He needed help.
What's his name? No, the dog.
Oh,
Banks. Yo, Banks. Listen, Banks. Now, you DJing, right? I'm sorry. I know if I go to a party, maybe this is just me being an ex-party promoter, right? And I'm sorry. If I go to a party and the DJ is trash, I'm never going to that party.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm not going to nothing he has again, right?
Yes.
How do you keep your customers, like, your
Pretty
crowd,
much.
your network?
Everything you gotta stay on what's hot. Like if you see somebody posting something that's going viral and it's a lit song, you know.
Just throw that in
First of
there.
all, once you see it, you already know every DJ is about to play that in the club.
That's a fact.
You already know. So now you just gotta figure out your little way in to squeeze that or not even let it play at all,
Right.
but still have that crowd. But keeping up with them is just you gotta stay on everything. Like I feel like DJs is like the next like news reporters. Like we know everything that's about to.
That's a fact. Before it hit,
before
the
it
artist
hit.
sending you the songs. Like, listen, this is what I got.
Yo, I got this
we
song.
know. I feel like you just
You gotta pay to play.
to keep the crowd and to keep like the customers. I feel like you just gotta play. Not play, but I just feel like you gotta be that type of DJ that's versatile.
Right.
You could get them in different modes. Like you just can't get them in the party they came out.
Even if it's not like they song or they genre.
Yeah,
I've seen
like-
some DJs get people into the mood, and it's not some shit they would ever like dance to listen to.
Yeah.
But if you're an ill DJ and you do the mix right or whatever, and the party's already going or whatever, and you paying attention to the crowd.
Like right now, you go to a club and play. You could play all of the newest and latest hits. Let you go back to some old school barbecue family reunion music. I swear to God,
That's
you'll have
me.
that club two-stepping.
Just give me the line.
You could what? You play all that barbecue
You
throwback
are
music.
my
That's what people really be wanting to hear. Sometimes they want to hear the new
See,
music,
you-
but for
ain't
you to
you-
throw
no.
You
it
said
back,
you're my friend. I'm sorry,
it's a
dude.
good thing. Nah, you good. I'm saying, but the new music is good to hear, but for you to throw
It's
it
not
back,
timeless though. Like when
Nah,
you
the new
need-
music is some of it is not timeless.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
know.
A
But
lot
that's
of
why
it is
that
not.
throwback
You know,
is
it's too
like-
much drill
How you
music.
know?
Like,
Yeah,
it's drill
I feel like
music.
drill
You
music
put me on.
kind of.
How you don't know old music?
I
That
do
good
know old
soul
music.
feel good.
Good soul.
You know about the barbecue? Go ask Charlene for a plate by the grill. Get 2 burgers.
That's because mommy had you listen to that
Some
shit all
potato
your
salad.
life.
Come on now.
And P, what about you, P? How do you keep your customers? Like, because that's the big like
man.
that's hard to like retaining customers.
Once you know your target, it becomes a lot
No, if you know your
easier.
target audience, yeah, but you gotta still be up
You
to
gotta
date
keep
with
your
what they
target
want,
audience
you know what I'm
up.
saying?
And that's why I
on
make
their
apple pie
heels.
cookies now. I'm like, yeah, you hungry?
Nah.
You bought some?
So, yeah. So, I mean, I would say it's definitely quality over quantity,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
I know I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
I know this is a quality grinder from the color
Yes, it is.
to the texture to the air, whatever.
My fault to cut you off, bro. Hold on.
Nah,
Y'all ain't
talk
even
about
see
it.
these
Cut
right
me
here.
off.
I got
Hold
a
on.
question with that too.
Shameless
we got-
plug.
right.
Come on
I
now.
missed the shameless plug. See what I
We
did there?
got we got the crushes over here.
That's how I keep my customers.
What- Let them know the IG.
See what I
We
did
we
there? That's how I keep
come
my
on now.
customers.
This
Yes.
is his brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
smoke
just dropped.
connoisseurs choose.
Yep, smoke connoisseurs.
Pete Colon.
All right, so let me shout it out
Yeah,
right.
you do
Oh,
your
them
thing.
doors,
Do your
them
It's
thing.
doors.
not
Yeah.
my brand, but I am official brand rep,
My bad.
brand ambassador.
Yes.
Shout to my team though. Smoke connoisseurs, choose. Feel me? We've been shaking the city for a minute. We have
don't
beautiful
dice.
relationships with like all of the top brands, Froze, High Flicks, you know,
Gas.
just a couple off the top of the head. Halpia, Silky, you know what I'm saying? Mount Vernon, Base Finest, but I still have to say, like, yeah, we just out here working, man. But this is our personal drop, Head Crack. If you know, you know. We did great numbers in the streets. Shout out to everybody that supported it. We have great stuff coming. I love working for my team. This is part of the team too. Shout out to the Power Plant.
Power
And,
plant.
and if it's one thing, I was gonna
Yeah,
like
so this
ask
is
or
kind of
whatever.
like the new wave of like, you know, what it's hitting for. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if this shit still
Bleep
works.
bleep, where you
Let me
at?
show you how cool this is. Let me see if this shit still works.
The packaging, do y'all see the packaging? It's different.
Yes.
I might have burnt it out, but it used to ring.
That
I'm gonna take that.
I've
one.
never in
I
my
want
life
that
seen
one.
this ever.
I want that
ever.
one.
Let them know where you seen it, man. Let them know I'm the motherfucking go-to
Pete
guy. you know?
Cologne dot
Yo, bring these phones back so I can hang up
The
on these hoes like this.
phone is ringing
Look.
with bud in it.
Now you know what's
Yeah.
crazy because one of the
Got the
questions
loud on the phone.
one of
So
the questions
that's how I
had,
keep my customers.
One of the questions. Okay, you had the
That's
best
the
fucking
quality.
answer because my follow up question was, what separates you from your fucking competitors and the
Yeah.
It's
packaging
the same
alone?
thing, the quality.
I'm not gonna lie, cause you
So,
know
all right. So, like I said, once again, some of the stuff I'm like behind the scenes involved with some of the planning.
One band,
some of
one
the
team. That's
executing,
cool.
all that, right.
Right.
Never take. There's motherfuckers that stay up all night creaking this shit.
Right,
feel me?
right.
I'm just kind of like on the board. You know what I'm
Right,
trying to
right.
say? Like I put a little input, but my job is to get it to the people. You know what I'm
Right,
trying to say?
right.
Get it to the masses, right? But deeper than that, you know, I'm grateful because this started very and still is very, very underground. That's the
Right,
word we're gonna
right,
use.
yeah.
I don't like that other black market, all that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's what they try to do to us.
Right, right.
Black market, like what? We are the
They
black
try to
market.
devalue your shit. They try to
You know,
water it
hip hop.
down, yeah.
Hip hop is a $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like, don't let that go over your head. So, yes, we are the black market, but we are underground, and that's what I like to say it. And it goes back to the roots of like Underground Railroad and like just us having to figure it out,
Yeah.
having to do maps in the braids. Shout to Tiff with the braids. You know what I'm saying? You know, just all of that, right? So you know, how I feel like what my focus is for the most part is like, back to what I was saying about like the trends, right? What separates me is like, I'm up
Right.
4 in the morning, seeing what people 4 in the morning is liking, is posting, is reacting to. I run my page, and this is free game. I run my page like a network.
Right.
So my stories is like my 24-hour show. You know, a shout out to Tiff the Gift is, you know, an ad, right? It's a commercial, right? Sprinkle some music in there, sprinkle some meditation in there. You know what I'm saying? Shout to YouTube TV. If anybody got YouTube TV, if you watch YouTube TV, just like, you know, just like without stopping it, right?
Yeah.
Like seamlessly, right?
Yeah.
They have these little stops where they'll be like, oh, meditation break. Or they give you the option whether you want to watch the ad or not. And just little things like that. You know what I'm saying? Just looking at the way the world is changing, how I stay ahead of the game is just, once again, back to that, trying to watch the trend, trying to figure out what makes enough sense that someone's going to want to pay attention to it for at least 15 seconds. Because that's all you can really get from a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Motherfucker won't even give you 2 seconds.
Your attention span is short. It got to be real
short.
catchy.
But Super Bowl about to come up. I got a dope event coming up in the Super Bowl. Shout out to Sincere Cyphers, Bonnie Godiva, Shade 45, Infamous, Amadeus, all of that. You know, rappers, tell them pull up. Feel me? We got bars and the Super Bowl. But I say all that to say, following that lane is like knowing like, okay, it may not hit, but I know what's not working.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? So once you eliminate what's not working, then it puts you in a space
easier,
to kind of be like, okay. And then you gotta have imagination too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't have that anymore. So
That's true.
I'm very big on preserving my imagination.
Right.
You know what I'm trying to say? Whether that's books, whether that's coaching my kids and my little basketball team, my little middle school kids, whether that's, you know,
Shout out to giving back to the community.
yeah.
He do it all.
Doing the museums and you know, just art and whatever, traveling, like whatever's gonna keep me feeling young, keep me feeling like
active and keep that mind moving. Yeah.
How long you been doing your entrepreneurship? 'Cause I've been doing it for like 4.5, 5 years.
so the first time I made money on my own, my first ASCAP check was like 1 cent. I was like maybe 20 years old.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
That might be the first time I feel like, you know, outside of like, you know, bagging and tagging with the scale in the city, right? Like, I've been doing that since I was like 13, 14. But I say, well, that's like the first time I got paid for something that I created was my ASCAP check. It was 1 cent. And I never forget, my aunt was like, what you gonna do with 1 cent? Who would even waste time to make a check for 1 cent? At the time, I didn't get what she was saying. Like, it costs more to make the check than the 1 cent.
It's cool because that's still
I
your
took it
first
like-
check.
Yeah, you got your little bum ass 1 cent. I was mad. I was like, oh yeah. Thank God I took it that way. Because now since 2020, one song I dropped randomly. None of it was random. All of it was, you know, calculated. But
Planned, yeah.
a song picked up internationally by, I guess, some company that put it in like a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm up to, I want to say like maybe like $14,000
Dope.
in royalties
That's
since
dope.
2020.
And it's all out the U.S.
Off that 1 cent, that same song.
Yeah. Out the U.S. though, right?
No,
It's in the U.S.
out
Out the
of
U.S. But you
Or
know, a lot of
international.
the streams,
My
a lot of
U.S.
the money
streams
makes
are
out the
like
US.
10 cent,
Yeah, that's U.S. 'Cause you know what it
12
is?
cent,
People in
in
different
a quarter.
countries, they want to.
in a quarter.
they
And
wanna
I know I
know
get
it.
little Apple spins. But I love the fact that I could get my ass cap. You know, so shout to all y'all that do music. Get your ass cap.
Yeah.
I could look at my report and see I made $18 in karaoke in Japan. That's a win for me.
Yeah.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Right.
I don't gotta.
They was learning them words by song, by heart.
You know what
in
I'm
there,
saying?
like-
And the fact that I could go to Japan one day and be chilling one day and maybe somebody, you know what, let's not go for that.
Right.
Get up there and start. And I'll be like, yeah, that's
Fire.
right. I get up with
Listen.
him like, nah, we got to do a duet, my boy.
And
Or I could
everything is
perform my own
possible.
song in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Because
trying
it's
to say?
moving out there. Because you know, it's like U.S. artists going to always move more out the country than here because, like, I'm sorry, it's like the support is just not here. It's not here. Like, I travel a lot, right? I meet a lot of people. And I've seen the way certain states, the way they stick with each other, right? And I'm not going to lie. In Brooklyn, if artist come out of Brooklyn gonna stand behind them 100 no matter what, right?
Especially if they dope. 100%.
Right. Queens
Shout
not
out to
like
Pop
that.
Smoke. He's from Panama.
Queens
Shout
are
out to
like
Pop
that.
Smoke.
Like the Bronx is half like that. Like New York is not really like that, but like places like Atlanta,
Oh yeah, Atlanta
enemies
so
could come out
hard.
with some shit, right?
The whole-
and they're going to
the whole
support
state
their
can support
enemies
it.
just
Yeah.
because, not because they want to say, you know, let me get on board my enemy, but because it's our town, it's our city. So like anything that's going to win, and I tell people all the time, like when the BT Awards came up, right, and then it must have been like in I want to say 2000, 2001, right. And I don't know if y'all remember when Ludacris and everybody came out. I mean, the whole Atlanta came out, right?
Oh yeah, I think I.
And
remember
I
that.
said, everybody said right then and there, it's over. Atlanta got this shit in the chokehold. The fact they brought like 300 niggas out on stage, right? I said it's over. Like, New York had no answer for that. We had no fucking answer for Atlanta when they came on the scene, and no lie, ever since then, Atlanta has had this music shit in the chokehold.
100%.
And if anybody say differently,
100%.
they don't travel or they don't know music. But they stick with each other.
Nah, Lil Baby and Future probably the two biggest artists.
Big, like it's
Period.
different out
Period.
there. Like you got Lil Baby, you got Future, you got Young Thug, you got a lot of
No,
artists
1,000%.
out
I mean,
there
like,
that's
right
like,
now in this moment.
yeah.
I feel like Lil Baby and Future might be like what, like Jay-Z and Kanye.
Reason why I don't say Lil Baby, like no
You know
lie,
what I'm saying?
I just always say Lil Baby's songs never miss. He never missed,
He don't,
right?
and
He
that's why I
don't
said
miss.
Jay and Kanye.
But this
They-
3 or
the
4
new
year
version of
hiatus, I don't like this
Because
time taking
I
on
asked,
shit.
I asked anybody, you know what I'm saying? I'm 45. I'm not afraid
Yeah,
to say. Man,
45, you look 25.
I love that for me. You know what I'm saying? And I got
Crack,
one kidney.
don't
You
crack.
know what I mean?
Yeah,
But I say that to say like, I want to say like 85% of like anybody like 30 and younger,
yeah,
Future.
yeah. Of course.
Like hands down. And I be like,
Future's different.
and not
Like
going against
he is.
Future. I just be like really? Like
Future's
Future.
different.
And then if you
Future.
listen to his
Future.
music, his music is
No, I
more
fuck with
clearer
Future.
than
I fuck
everybody
with
else's.
Future. That's what I'm saying.
instrumentals.
Yeah,
It's
I can
just
hear the
crazy,
words
like-
very
Yeah.
clearly.
I guess I came from an era where it was like so spread out, and this is what I'm saying. Now this era is like it's almost impossible to track music.
Yeah,
I'll learn about music, and somebody will be like, "Yo, you heard this song?" or "Yo, you heard this song?" One of my students, something might come across, but like for me to like know what a new artist is or know, I gotta get that. I gotta get that. You know what I'm saying?
but
But anybody I randomly might, or we talking about a concert, or who's your favorite Future?
right.
Like that's across
Yeah,
the board.
Future has been pretty relevant for a long
Little
time.
Baby's like right there.
Yeah, he don't miss. Like Lil Baby's almost like a little baby.
I'm talking about
Future.
women, streets,
Yeah,
kids, white kids at my school. Future.
it's someone who just got it. Future and 2 Chainz, I think that they're gonna have it for a long time.
Yeah, Future
2
and Lil Baby. I'm
Baby
like,
been
wow.
chilling for a minute, but Baby can
But
make
when
a
he dropped
hit.
though, he dropped.
When he dropped, it's over.
He has
It's
that
over.
Kanye energy where he could chill.
It's over.
Yeah.
Because when he dropped, he dropped.
It's like females when they take pictures on the ground with it, it gotta be perfect. They're not gonna post it unless it's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's like with Lil Baby. He's not gonna drop something
If it's not
unless that shit is perfect. Like he's not gonna like he don't have to actually. Like he got the bread. You know
can
what I'm
call
saying?
his shit whack, but let you hear it blasting somewhere. You be like,
Yeah.
that shit fire.
Right,
That's
right.
The same shit you call whack.
Now you doing DJing, like you know it's very hard to to keep your customers because when I was doing the party promoting shit or whatever, and I noticed there was a trend. So like when I would book like Flex or like Superstar J or Chuck Murdoch or whatever, the crowd would come out. But the minute I book like the homies from the hood or whatever, it's like
Yeah, pulling teeth.
now keep in mind this is people that they grew up with. Y'all niggas didn't grow up with Flex. I just paid them.
Free.
Yeah, exactly. No, I'm gonna get to that too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I just paid Flex. You know what I'm saying?
Very well.
I just paid
Like
Mr.
30
C.
bands.
I just paid
Niggas
DJ
is
Nori.
wildin'.
Y'all don't know them, but y'all gonna show up for them, whatever. And not to take away from them, they're great DJs. But the DJs I booked, that's from my neighborhood, they've been awesome DJs too.
Yeah.
But it just shows to show you that people is gonna go with what's hot and with who's hot.
Yeah, jump on the
You know what I'm saying?
bandwagon.
And this is why I don't.
most known, not even like best talent,
Yeah.
just most
Yeah,
known.
yeah, most
And then when the most known or whatever start fading away or whatever, and you still got your shit going or whatever, and then they want to spin back, and it's like, oh yeah, nah, you wasn't
No,
fucking
you
me
could get in
before.
the line.
Yeah,
You could get in the
yeah.
line and check my availability.
You know what's funny? I've hosted events with like Flex, like Drewski, Self, like
Yeah.
whoever's the top DJ in New York right now. Self, I ain't gonna lie, is one of my favorites.
That
He
is
gives me
good.
that New York energy. Him
Yeah.
and DJ Nori. If you know, you
Yeah,
know,
DJ
man.
Nori.
No, that's my
DJ
son.
Nori, and I'm talking about just radio.
be in-
Just
he
like
still be out there
I can put
loud.
on the radio and vibe to them. Flex, he gonna do 1,001. Flex is an ad machine at this point, and I love that for him.
I'm gonna ask you a question because
Feel
you be
me?
outside, right? Out of all those DJs, you can say Flex, you can say Nori, and you can say Mr. C, right? God bless the dead or whatever. Who do you think really like consistently like can do any genre? Like Flex hip hop is his shit. That's his shit, hip hop, right?
All right.
And then you got
that's
Mr. C. He can do everything. He can do
DJ
hip.
Wawa.
I'm
DJ
gonna
Wawa,
tell you
yeah.
something. I've done events. I did a Brooklyn. We did Brooklyn Nets. The first point I was gonna say is, not gonna hold you. I got a couple young boys that I rock with. I'll put money on them.
Yeah.
They would smoke them old heads.
Yeah.
Now, I'm an old head. I would say, because I've seen it live, I would say Self is up there. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because Self,
I love Self. I wouldn't say Self.
Self know how to read a room, yo.
Self.
He's more tapped. I feel like he's more tapped.
He's tapped into the
younger
now.
crowd.
To the
Right,
now.
but he can
To the
also
now.
go old school. He could go
for a
R&B.
fact, definitely.
He could go reggae. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, but what I would say is, Mr. C though, that's like a different. That's like a hip hop DJ.
Three generations.
Like I would say Self is like a club radio DJ, which is what you have to be now.
Yeah.
You gotta know what's the pulse of the city.
Right.
But Mr. C, I feel like I done heard some Mr. C sets.
You've been around. I booked him for parties. Yo, rest in peace to Mr. C. I booked him for parties. When I tell you that man,
Nasty work.
he's great. Like Mr. C, he's a cool dude.
Like I
but
would say, if I had to pick top 3 DJs, New York City DJs all time, I would probably say Mr. C. I would say rest in peace Clark Kent.
talking, yeah.
Damn,
I'm gonna give you just my one. My one who he surprised me too, because I thought he was just a reggae DJ. DJ Nori.
Nori. You know what? I'm gonna give it to Nori from Panama, man.
And let me
DJ
tell you
Nori,
why.
man. Shout out to my guy DJ Nori.
Let me tell
Nori
you.
still be in
I used to.
spots,
Nori's a bad. Nori's a bad man.
Nori's him.
Nori's
I used
a
to
bad
book
man.
Nori right back in the day. You know, play
You know
lounge,
he do
Rose
music
Lounge.
too. He
Yeah.
got beats. He got albums.
This is why I fuck
Shout
with
to
Nori.
DJ Nori.
Booked him
Panama,
one
that
time or
Panama
whatever. And when I booked him, whatever, you know, he came through. He did his reggae set. You know, booked him for an hour. Did his reggae set, and then maybe like a week later, him and Self was going back and forth. They're like little brother, big brother. They going back and forth on the radio,
100%.
right? Self like, yeah, you can't do this. Nori like, what?
Nah,
I can
Nori
play
get
any
busy.
tune them.
Nori get busy.
Nori, I booked him maybe like 2 months later. He came to the party. Nori did reggae. He did salsa. He did
Yes,
reggaeton.
Panama
He
DJ.
did R&B. He
That's the
did
Panama
hip hop.
DJ, I'm
And
telling
I had
you.
to step back from it and like,
Yeah.
I booked you for, because you know when I do the party point, you book certain DJs for like slots.
Yeah.
So Flex always had the hip hop slot. Nori always had the reggae slot.
Yeah.
Mr. C, he just had whatever. He just
Yeah,
did whatever
yeah,
he
all
did. He do what he
purpose.
do.
All purpose, right? He might
But
go OD. He might go.
I've
dance.
never had
Right.
Nori come through and do 5 genres in one night. Until that night he came through a play
Yeah,
lounge.
because you know why? Because he wanted to set the tone.
He got that too, and because him and Self was just arguing on the radio.
Yeah, so
and
like,
Self
I'ma
was like,
set
"You
the
can't.
tone.
You're not
Got me fucked up,
multifaceted."
right.
He's like, "What?"
Don't believe me, just one.
He said, "Okay." He said, "I'm gonna show you what I can do." And no lie, he came to the party and Nori wowed out. And I said, "Yo," I told my other business partner back in the days, like, I don't want to book nobody else. I just want to just book
Yeah.
Nori. Like first of all,
Shout to the Panamanian
he's cheaper than
people,
Flex
yeah.
because Flex will come through for 15 minutes. Flex was like 1,500 for 15 minutes, right?
And then you know what he gonna do? He gonna give you straight hip hop.
Bombs. You
Straight
gonna
hip hop.
have 14 minutes of
He gonna give
dropping
you. He
bombs.
gonna give you
and that's
1,000
it.
scratches.
And I love Flex.
Bombs?
I
No,
fuck
Flex
with
is
Flex.
fire.
I
I
hate
fuck
when
with
people
Flex.
start the song over. Like
Flex is
they
fire.
don't even
Yeah,
let
that's
the
gonna be
chorus
Flex.
shit get to
Nah, I ain't
go.
gonna lie.
Flex is gonna go
Sometimes you
quick-
might have
quick
to pull the
mixes.
song up though.
You could do
Flex
it
is
twice,
gonna go quick
maybe
mixes.
3 times if the song is fire. But
Yeah.
to keep on playing that shit back
Flex
to
does
back
it
and
20
not letting
times.
it
Flex
get
gonna
to
give you
chorus,
15 seconds of the song. Next song, then he might bring it back to the beginning. Like Flex is a DJ.
Right.
But Nori, to your point, I love that because once again, like it's the same thing with me hosting, right? And then just because I know music,
Right.
though they didn't let me DJ, don't mean I don't know how to.
Right,
Don't
right.
mean I don't know music. It's been plenty of times. Shout out to all my DJs I rock with, Mad Max, DJ Clips,
Shout out to Mad Max.
Cuddy. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Hot Rod, like
Hot Rod.
Shout out to Hot Rod.
Logo,
Hey, that's
Smoke
my
Black.
boys.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like all my DJs I rock with, and like I said, I didn't rock with Drewski, all that. One thing they will always tell you is, nah, Pete could do what he do on the mic.
Right,
Don't-
right.
They don't even. And sometimes they be like, because I could go from like the reggae vibe, which you know that's a specific.
Yeah.
You got what you're doing with that
That's a
reggae
specific
shit.
frequency you
Yeah,
gotta
you
talk
gotta-
to. You know what I'm
yeah,
trying to say?
facts.
I could go to the Spanish vibe. Shout out to Sophia Body. I remember we did a whole Mexican boat ride. Sophia Body. She like, yo, I don't know about Spanish music that much. I'm like, yo, here, don't worry. Play this, play this. She like, this shit turned up. Then she like, well, I know a little bit. DJ shit. She's like, I got a little in my.
Now I know it's not me, right? We're all business owners, bosses, in
Right.
our own right? Our personal time is limited. How do you balance? Because I'm sorry, I know me. If I get the like designing, I'll be stuck on one design for like 20 hours, right? and I'll end up not fucking using it. That's the most annoying shit in the world. But
Yeah.
when you like dedicate to your craft, that's shit that you expect. You expect
Facts.
to say, you know
I
what,
put the work
I might spend 50 hours, and then it's like, I have had some all day at work. Like, yo, D. I don't really fuck with niggas like that, but so I want to get niggas input or whatever. Like, yo, what you think about this or whatever.
Right.
So like, you trying to balance, you know what I'm saying, your personal life and like working. You doing personal life and working, and then you got a whole bunch of shit going on. Like, it's very hard to like balance that, and people will automatically assume that you're ignoring them, right? Or they think like you're acting Hollywood, and that has nothing to do with it. Like, you understand, like when we're working on our craft, like we're working.
It's business.
Yeah, like we don't have time. People don't understand.
Yo, I say
We
fuck
don't
'em,
have
say
time
no.
for ourselves to like really
I
sit
support
there.
it.
I say fuck them, say no.
For me, how I deal with it, I try to bring you in just to give me advice on what I'm doing. Like, I'll be like, all right, hear the song hot. All right, since you want to,
yeah,
Right.
but that's feedback.
Yeah, how
For
do
me,
you
I feel
balance
that's
it?
feedback,
Like,
but no, that's pretty, for me, that's like,
give them
being that
an
I
insight
can't-
of like
being
what's
that
taking
I
your
can't
time.
answer and be like how I am normally with you,
Right.
I feel like, all right.
Oh, that's your way of
Step
having
into
it.
my world now.
Okay,
All right,
I see
now
what you did there.
you
That's
see,
like
all right, tell me
inclusion.
about this song. This song Gucci, I bet. You like that? I bet. Gucci. Now you basically in my
Part of the
world now.
process.
Part of the process.
See, I can't do that. See, me,
Yeah.
like I get aggravated because
Because
like.
hands on with your shit. It's a
Yeah, I
different-
would think like we all grown here, so like if I don't answer my phone or some shit, you gotta know like niggas is doing podcasting, clothing line, like you know what I'm saying, construction.
This is a black man,
yeah.
and black man.
You know what I'm saying?
We not taught in our culture to be able to set boundaries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
That's remember.
that
Just
you
black
asked
men, black
100%
When they-
right.
Black women, I was just
Super,
saying,
the
black
black
man and
people.
black man, right? Like in our culture, we're seen as the workhorse, 100%.
Yeah.
Feel me?
That's a fact.
Because even the black woman at some point could be the sex symbol. Not saying that that's okay. What I'm saying
But
is,
it
is
is
how
what it
we're
is.
viewed.
Yeah.
The black man is viewed 100%, 99.9 as the workhorse.
Yeah.
The donkey, the mule. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, you're not expected to be like, no.
Yeah.
You're
So leave
expected
up to
be
your
like,
peoples. You're
oh,
not that
yes,
busy.
ma'am.
Like there's no way you're that busy. And I'm like,
See what she just
I don't
said?
get
You're
10
expected to be
minutes
like,
to
yes,
myself.
massa, to everything. To
Right.
everything, everybody, though. Like, even with my kids, I go through that sometimes.
Yeah.
I have my daughter send me a text the other day, like, yo, don't even worry about them Jordans. I need these. Excuse me?
I
Where's
beg
your
you.
pleaser? Thank
How
you.
are you? Good morning. Am I even
That is
alive?
fine.
Am I even
Yeah.
You
alive when you
posted
sent this
something
text?
like that
I get pressed for
before. You
Roblox.
posted something on
Daddy,
your
I need
story.
Roblox. Good morning. How, you alive? You breathing today?
Yeah.
How you
But
doing?
it's the boundary that you set,
Yeah.
and you learn to say no. Because I used to be that dad that would let the mother, the grandmother, the TV, oh, don't lose Christmas. And I'm killing myself, ready to rob, steal, and kill for Christmas. And they
Right.
like, it's cool. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
nah.
For 10 days, they're not even looking at this shit. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is backwards. Now I'm more on, like you said, have my kids seen London? Have they seen a pyramid? You know, like, well, you know,
Right.
are they in? Am I invested in their crafts? I got one that she just won a robotics competition.
That's dope.
And they
Shout out to her.
Shout
That's
out to
dope.
baby
That's
girl.
fine.
pay
Yeah.
for her to go to NASA in Houston and compete and tour
Different,
of Houston
different.
of NASA and all that. Self-taught piano, self-taught, you know, guitar type. I got another one that's doing the baking stuff. She's about to do her own thing
Shout
with
out to
that.
mama.
We just bought her own baking stuff. You know what I mean? I have
Breaking
a
up
friend.
generational curses. What we
Shout
doing?
to shout to It's Delicious. I gotta shout her out. Shout
Yeah.
to Crystal Paredes. You know what I'm saying? She basically won a baking show called Cake Wars.
Cake Wild. Yeah.
She
it on
won that
Netflix?
little, and she just won a new one on Netflix called Cookies.
I support it.
Cookies, cakes, and something.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm saying it wrong. But delicious desserts. You got It's delicious.
We're
You
gonna throw
gotta-
that up there too.
And my daughter, I'm gonna get her to be like her intern. So you see, I'm passing it down. I already know
Right.
Crystal is like the GOAT at
Showing her
making
function and shit,
cakes.
yeah.
Put my 16-year-old with her.
Give her
If
all
she
the
tells me
ropes.
by 17, I don't even want to finish high school,
Yeah.
I will let her get her GED
Yeah.
and just start her business.
Get your trade type
That's why
shit,
I'm
right?
at with it. You know what I'm
'Cause
trying
I'm
to
not
say?
gonna hold you up. I got 3 college degrees and I don't use them for
I
nothing.
Yeah, I'm
do
about
too.
to say college is. If you're
I
an
have a
entrepreneur,
bachelor's in social work.
That shit does nothing for us.
you don't
I have a
need
master's in
fucking
adult
degree.
education. I have a-
Masters, and they won't even know.
I'm a whole social worker.
Yeah, that's
I have a
dope.
bachelor's
That's
in
dope.
social work.
Yeah.
I'd rather social work the hood. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
I'd rather
yeah.
social work my clients
Your
or whatever.
tribe, your customers,
Yeah, you know
yeah.
what I'm trying to say? Like my community, because like you said, I didn't really learn about debt till I was in debt.
Yeah.
Is that something you would teach like like upcoming entrepreneurs, because like the biggest thing with upcoming entrepreneurs is they're not taught the basics of business.
Yeah.
They think like, hey, I have an idea, let me start a business, and that's it. Like they don't get taught about the
They don't know about the
LLCs.
budgeting
So I
process.
do
bank.
financial
Yeah,
literacy
that-
classes with J.P. Morgan Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Pitfalls of debt. So what I do also too, I do something called edutainment, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I take hip hop. So picture me. I come into a school. It's 1,500 students. I'm like, yo, everybody's got $1 million. They like, oh, my DJ's like playing All About the Benjamins. Everybody's like, oh, going crazy, right? What you did with it? Oh, I bought sneakers. Stand over there. But remember, the times change.
Yeah.
If you invest in them sneakers, stand over there. You
Right.
just buying them and wearing them, stand your ass over
Yeah.
there.
Right.
Appreciate.
You'll be broke soon.
Or I bought some
Yeah.
art. Or I saved it. But you might have to, where you saving it at? You see where I'm going with it?
Mm-hmm.
How you saving it? Because if it's under your bed, you got to stand over there. It ain't appreciating. It's depreciating. Feel me?
Right,
Or I
right.
bought a Lamborghini. You stand all the way over there.
Half your money
Feel
going
me?
already.
Just go home.
I bought a house. You should have bought the land, but I'm gonna make you stand here in the middle. See where I'm going with it?
Right, right.
You want to right track.
And now we making up like, yo, make up a 16 about, or I'm rapping about like financial literacy or
Right.
things like that. I also do another thing called Hip Hop Heals. It's called Healthy Eating and Living in Schools. And Chuck D, Dougie Fresh, Ashanti.
Dope.
Shout out to my guy Artie Green. He basically did all the Ja Rule Ashanti tracks, like Put It On Me, whatever Ja Rule Ashanti platinum track. My man Artie Green did it. Feel me?
Yeah.
And it's an initiative that we do at Harlem Hospital with Columbia Presbyterian in Harlem, and it's Hip Hop Heals, right? It's
That's dope.
back to the edutainment. We do cartoons about like stroke. You know what I'm saying? The acronym is FAST, face, arm,
Yeah.
slurred speech, time to call 911. We actually had kids that saved. We had a 9-year-old kid that saved his grandmother because he
That's great.
remembered Mr. Pete
Yeah.
rapping about stroke
Right,
with Chuck
right.
D in the cartoon and having a little clap.
It's something they can relate to,
He's
like they remember shit like that,
face,
yeah.
call 911. He called 911. You know what I'm
That's
trying to
dope,
say?
yeah.
I have a video with Chuck D about colon cancer,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm like a cartoon character. I'm just doing it in Spanish.
That's dope. Yeah, that's
You know what I'm
fire.
trying to say?
That's
So
fire.
shout out to the cancer. What's the cancer initiative that we do? Stand Up, Stand Up to Cancer, and that whole initiative. So I'm saying all this stuff as we wrapping up, just to say, because of my hip hop roots, because of my Panamanian roots, because of that, I know that I don't have to be one thing.
Right,
and
right.
that's why I said
I
the first
support
thing
it.
is my business is the go-to guy. Is
Yeah.
Pete Colon. Is
Yeah.
whatever I want it to be.
Yeah.
I'm an alchemist, right?
So on the offset in 5 years, where do you see your business at? In 5 years?
5 years, I want to be alive, first and foremost. Let me just put that out there.
Amen.
Honestly, I see myself transitioning to like ownership now, like some land. I want to have a farm.
Would you do real estate?
I want to, yeah, I definitely. But I would invest into somebody like if my daughter wanted to do it or a
Yeah,
cousin.
more so
Like
invest
me
in it,
personally
nigga.
becoming the real estate agent.
But a farm, hell
But I would
yeah.
invest in a real estate
Right,
agent
right.
if that made sense.
No,
different
no,
stream
it
of
does.
You know
income
what I'm trying to
type
say,
shit.
right? But I definitely want to have a farm.
Yeah.
I definitely want to have some kind of
Is it going to be in
crop
America or
situation. I don't know yet. Hopefully both.
If
I
you get it
support
for the
it.
low,
Both.
like
Hopefully both.
Do you have your dual citizenship?
I'm working on that.
I support it.
I'm working on that. So yeah, that's all the plans for this year. I'm supposed to go to London. Shout to Bonnie Godiva. February 9th, like I said, we got the Congestion Cypher coming up.
February 9th.
Sincere Cypher, Super Bowl Sunday. But yeah, we're supposed to go to London, like a rap battle league out there.
Fire,
so I'm
yeah.
about to sprinkle into that a little bit too.
they coming up crazy out there for like the
You
last
know,
6-7 years.
And
they've
then my
been
plan
doing.
is to end the year going to Cairo. I never seen a pyramid. I think it's time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my goals for
Do it,
2025.
King.
If you could,
Do it,
if you
King.
could, like, some people were like, oh, if I can have a talk with my younger self, I would have did like this differently. If you would have started your business like from today,
Same thing I just told you. No, fuck them.
same exact way you doing it.
Let them.
Adversity and
Because
everything.
I lost a lot of time. One, trying to please people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two, being defeated when I couldn't please them.
Right. Right. Too much invested in
The
that.
worst thing in the world is not liking yourself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not loving yourself,
Yeah, that's the worst part.
hating yourself.
Mhm.
See how I see the
Yeah.
if you don't like yourself, you don't love yourself.
Right.
And if you don't love yourself, you hate yourself. So
It's all entwined.
the worst thing in the world is waiting for someone else to
Waiting for their
acknowledge
validation.
you or to, you know what I'm trying to say. And shout out to anybody that ever supported me. Don't get it
Right,
twisted.
right.
Like that support
That's
comes
big.
in
That
handy.
goes,
Right,
it does.
right.
It
But
really
the
does.
non-support did way more for me.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that motivates.
than the
that's
actual
the drive. That's the drive right
Yeah.
there.
You know, a motherfucker laugh at you, a motherfucker that you thought like rock with you.
I love
Mm-hmm.
it.
A motherfucker, you know, leave you out in the cold, and you thought,
love
I've cut down all the wood and still had to sit in the snow
Mm-hmm.
while I watch them light the fire.
When shit like that happen to me, I just go buy some shit like just to make them
Yeah,
mad. Like
I
you
make
know, it's
something.
like
When I get mad now, I create.
Yeah, exactly,
When
exactly.
somebody piss me off, or I feel like I've been rejected, I'll be like, I'm gonna go create
Yeah.
with this energy. But I didn't, and I didn't realize that was the way to go about it.
That
Back
is.
in the day, I used to write like fake diss tracks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I used to write. So my grandmother told me some shit is great for therapy. Y'all should use this. If you get mad at somebody or you feel away from somebody, write them a letter. Write exactly how you feel. Fuck
That's
you,
exactly what I do.
But then rip it up.
Oh.
Or crumple it up or burn it.
Cause
Or
you
whatever.
got it out already.
And then
But
you got it out, yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Right, right.
And
Especially
when
if
you
you
start to
can't
read
articulate
it,
it.
sometimes, but you know what messes that up? This text. You be like, and then you like Apple now, you can do the unsend.
Yeah.
You catch it in time.
Yeah.
But this instant, like, it doesn't give you room to like receive, reflect, respond anymore.
Yeah.
Right,
and I
right.
feel like that's the only way to have a good mental health.
Right.
A good any kind of health. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to receive it, reflect on it, and then respond. But we in a weird way, it's like,
Everything
Everything
bam,
gotta
bam.
be
Like
so
I'm reacting
right
to
away.
every little action that happened, and I'm not even thinking. I'm just
and every
feeling it.
action has a
What about
reaction.
Would you change anything? 'Cause you know you've been through ups, downs, left, right,
Right.
turns, but you've always come back on track. Raising hell.
What I would just to I guess it would probably be to not stop, because I did stop. I took like a mini rebranding break, if you will. Some weird stuff, you know, life started life.
Life started life. Yeah, right.
We human.
Yeah, and I
We
and I had
alchemists,
to-
but we human.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to like get my life back on track, and I couldn't juggle everything. So I still supported my peoples in their own right. You know,
Yeah.
I always show love. I was always speaking light and love to everybody. But
You stagnant on
doing the
yours.
events, I wasn't able to do that. Like you asked me, it was like, yo, where you been? Where your events at? And I was like, life's been lifing. But it's like, no, fuck all that. Those are excuses.
Yeah.
Life is always gonna be lifing, and that's what I would have told myself. The second that I would have said, oh, I can't do. Yes, you can.
But you know, some people like us, we need that type of break just to like reset and get a fresh start, because
Agreed.
sometimes you
I think
you
that
get
means
burned
take
out.
a trip or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to.
Like,
No,
you take a
time.
trip and then you'll recharge. That's what
yeah,
trips
you
are
have
for.
to. And
And then you come back.
it's funny you say that, because I used to do corporate work. I used to be an operations analyst,
Mm-hmm.
and I used to always say like, damn, I cannot wait till they send me away, because I don't use my own money for vacation. I'll use the company money and go away for like a week or two. That was fire. So like, no lie, I always notice anytime I go away on vacation and just I'm away, I don't gotta work on my phone, I'm on work or whatever. It's that fresh start. Like you get a breath of fresh air. So when you come
That's
back,
different air.
you come back like you like, oh, I'm ready.
balance. It's balance
Yes,
more
it
than
is
anything.
balance.
Right,
It
right.
is.
And that's
It's
what got back
balance.
to like how you balance, like, you know, your
Yeah.
personal life with work. Like that shit can be hard at times, because like no lie, sometimes I get so caught up, like after work, I'll get caught up in like the networking, the design, and the podcast. I get so
Yeah.
caught up.
Yeah, you be stuck on your phone.
Two
Explain so
jewels
much.
I'll share that corporate people shared with me when I was in the corporate world, right? The first one was, you know, don't kill yourself for a job, that you'll die, and they'll ask, is he still on the clock?
Right,
Don't let
right,
that go over your head.
Yeah. Was he still on the clock?
So basically, don't work when you're not
right.
at work.
Yeah. Heck yeah, I say that
So
all
when
the
you
time.
clock out, no.
No, that's
So it goes
it.
back to that no.
I'm
Not
learning
answering
how,
no
I'm
email.
learning how to do that,
I'm not
because
answering no
it's like,
email.
Once
Yeah.
you clock out, that's
so it
that's
goes
the
back
clock
to that.
out.
Let them know. It goes back to that no, right?
Yeah.
And then the second one is like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, you teach people how to treat you.
Set them
So,
boundaries.
Back to that.
Absolutely.
2025, I'm not gonna lie, it took me 20 years to learn,
Brother,
to actually start
I'm
doing that.
45, and I might have just
But-
started like 3 days ago.
No, I'm
listen.
telling you,
Respectfully.
you know, there's like so like last year, right, Pete? So I last year, like I was like, yo,
We listen. We don't
every
judge.
5, 10, 15 years, I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do this differently. Like, no, I'm gonna stand on this, but I always like, you know, renege and go back. So last year, whatever, before the year ended, I said, man, fuck that. I say, I gotta start this shit in November, because if I keep saying I'm gonna start New Year's like everybody else in December, it's never gonna happen, right? So I started like December. I started saying, you know what, nah, fuck you, motherfucker. You wanted me for help, you don't support me in nothing.
Yeah.
Like any other time, I'm like, yo, you need this?
You gotta
I'll
stand
plug
on
you
it.
in. You need some motion? I got motion for you. But now, no lie,
Nah.
what is this? How many days we in this year? We
Healthy
are
selfishness. It's
31
all right.
days in this year.
Yep.
and I've been standing on everything, and I said,
Stand on it.
I feel like an
And they gonna get
asshole, but
mad.
I love it.
They
Like,
mad
Yeah.
with that, but guess what? I'm gonna tell you like this: anybody
It's better
that gets
them
mad,
than you.
right,
anybody that gets mad with your boundaries,
They don't respect you.
they don't.
right.
Because respectfully, if my daughters could get used to me saying no,
Right.
when they was used to me always saying yes, then I don't care who else it is.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I even noticed that with them. I even sometimes have to be like, yo, what's up? You know, I still got to do this.
Right.
You're like, all right, Dad, you know what? But I also realized I taught them how to respect me and love me. And
Yeah.
if every time they call me for something, I'm saying yes, my kids know. Now you
Yeah.
got to earn it over here because
Right,
ain't nobody
right.
giving me shit.
Right. So you touch your boundaries with everybody.
Now.
You have to, yeah.
Now, okay, like before you never did. Like
It's
there's a
not
lot
that
of
I never
leeway.
did is that back to being the go-to guy, right? I realized,
You
and
took
I'm
it
big on
quite
mental health.
literally at the first.
Nah, I realized that because of my traumas and because of a lot of shit, abandonment issues and shit like that, moving around a lot, always trying to fit in, I became a people pleaser. And I didn't realize that's how the go-to guy was created.
Right.
But my grandmother also taught me, be useful.
Right.
Let them use you, but don't let them abuse you.
Right.
Right? But I started abusing myself because I started realizing, like, nah, I gotta outwork this person. I gotta outwork that person. And I gotta this and I gotta that. And I gotta always be available. And I gotta, cause like you said, that's you become a beast about the shit. You
Right.
become a monster about the shit, a machine, right? And people love that until you realize, nah, they just using you.
Yeah.
Right.
And
They
they
just
abuse
drink.
you.
How you spot that though? Because you know what it is. You got a lot of people.
You spot it when they make the money and you fucked up in the hood.
Okay.
And now you see your ideas on TV and you see your ideas
Yep.
on the runways and you see your ideas. Nah, dead ass. And
I can
and
name three
if
big
they know, they
brands.
know.
I can name 3 big brands that literally took my ideas, but being that they're big brands, there's nothing you can say to them.
Bro, I got
It's-
brands,
it's
artists,
nothing
and
you can
guess
say to
what?
them.
I learned from what she said earlier. Let them.
Yeah.
Cause
Because that's not your lane. That's not.
but
for
it's
you.
also on me
you
if I'm not
inspired, though.
perfecting my source.
Yeah.
Exactly.
If I don't realize I'm the Golden Goose NYC, you see what I'm going to say?
right.
If I don't call myself that, who's gonna? I
Exactly.
started calling myself the go-to guy. That's a sports term.
Right.
I started looking at it like I would be watching basketball. They'd be like, "Oh, the go-to guy for this, or the go-to guy for rebounds."
Implement that in your entrepreneur
So in
life.
my mind, I was like, "Oh, I want to be the go-to guy for the weed,
Yeah.
for the parties, for the
yeah.
for the ladies,
Right,
for the
right,
ambiance, for whatever." You know what I'm
Right.
trying to say? And that's how. But that don't mean you're gonna call me the go-to guy.
Yeah.
I gotta prove that. See where I'm going
Right,
with it?
right.
Now, when I leave, you might be like, "Nah." It's still, you gotta smoke it. It's still, presentation is only half the battle.
Exactly.
It's still got to be a quality product. It's still got to be
Exactly.
something I can stand on, right?
Exactly.
So that's why I'm gonna always make sure I'm that first and foremost.
But if it's one thing I learned though, like I was telling my man D, right? So we was at work and we was talking, right? And I was like, "Yo, D," I said, "You know what's crazy? Like, you can have like me for instance, right? I just throw it out there, like my best quality sweatsuits is like 600 GSM, right? You might have like a Mari, you might have like Essentials. Their GSM is like 300 GSM, right? But they have the marketing to market their 300 GSM, right? I'm talking about crazy marketing 24 hours a day. They can market they sweatsuits or whatever. So now since they can market or whatever, I'm kind of like behind them because like even though I might have 600 GSM, quality is way better.
right,
The name is nowhere near like this, of course.
right.
So they can actually get their product out a lot faster to a lot more customers
Right.
and at half the quality. You might see Nike Tech, right? So Nike Tech, they'll give you a Nike check that's like a half an inch, right? And motherfuckers will go pay whatever. I don't buy Nike, but I'm gonna say like 200,
Right.
$250 for Nike Tech, right?
Just about.
And the quality is trash. I'm sorry, Nike quality is trash, Adidas quality is trash, and even fucking Essentials is trash. It's garbage. But they're allowed to sell it at a certain GSM because
Right.
they can make maximum profit off of their name.
Yeah, just off
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what you're paying for, the name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And then that's when the owners and the entrepreneurs like us are sitting back like, this some bullshit. Like
It's the same shit with this. So
Yeah.
now, right?
that's what I was getting at with the marketing.
They don't even care. 85%, 75% of the market don't even care about the flower.
Right.
Nah.
They want the box. Yo, where's my dice at?
But you know why though, right?
Yo, where's my skateboard?
You know why? This is what they want to do.
Because they can't get it from any place.
Shout out to Candyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the smart entrepreneur
That's smart.
Yeah.
is gonna put good bud in there.
Right.
Because that other 25%, is who I really care about.
Right.
This is what I always said about who
That's the
I want to be.
consistent real ones.
I always wanted to be, and this is gonna sound crazy, but when y'all think about it, y'all gonna be like, nah, that's fire, right? You see the confidence I said that with? Because I truly believe what I'm about to say is fire. I always wanted to be the guy that sells duck sauce and soy sauce packages in the Chinese restaurant. If you think how many Chinese restaurants just in New York, you don't ask for duck sauce or soy sauce. It comes in your bag. It's already paid for. That means that's a necessity for that business that has to be there.
It's implemented.
That means the
automatically,
motherfucker that's packaging them shits. Have you ever read the ingredients of them shits? They're not expensive. They are not expensive. It's high fructose corn syrup in that. Read the ingredients on a duck sauce or soy sauce package. How many duck sauce or soy sauce packages?
And that's
do you
real
think
shit.
are
I've
in
never gotten food
production
without that in it.
in 1 year, just 1 year.
Billion.
People think it's free,
That's gonna be
right?
the duck sauce soy sauce pack, my boy.
This is the good thing about being a business owner, right? People think that's free. That's really not free. That's actually in the price of your food.
Yeah.
See what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
They'll give
That
you
was put in
15
the
packages.
budget.
And people think it's free. You think they're going to
It's
give you
not free.
15 packets of
not.
soy
You think
sauce,
the
12
pork
packets of duck sauce, and 12 spoons for free?
Just because
Right.
they Chinese.
That's
that don't
just
mean
implemented
they-
in the
listen,
price.
Right.
But they're smart marketing because they
And
tell
then
you
guess
it's free.
what? You end up with a drawer full of duck sauce and soy
Right,
sauce sitting in your crib.
right.
But
And-
guess
and
what?
now you
The
get hungry,
motherfucker
what do you
that
want?
made it is getting paid, hand over fist. He don't never stop getting paid.
That's
He
a
does
fact.
it. All he got to do is make duck sauce
them
and
out
soy
and they
sauce
already-
packages and send them out. He don't even got to sell them.
Right.
All he got to do is make them. I told my kids the other day, like, yo, you know what? I don't want to focus on how much money I make no more. That's stressful.
Right.
I want to know how much I spent. Last
Yeah.
year, my first year of full
That's
entrepreneurship,
crazy. You
I
just-
spent $100,000 last year. Thank you, Jesus.
I was watching this
I don't know how much I
podcast.
made, but I know between my trips, my weed, my kids, my this, my tolls, my traffic, my this, my Ubers, I spent easily $100,000, and I didn't work for nobody last
I
year.
was watching a podcast this morning. It was exactly this morning. Maybe like on my way to work. It was like 5 something. And they were saying real entrepreneurs don't focus on the wins. They focus on the losses.
How much I
Right?
spent?
It took me a minute. I had to keep rewinding
Yeah,
that
how
shit
much
back.
I
I'm like,
spent?
what do you mean by that?
But
Like,
if I
man,
spent
this is early.
$100,000, I made $100,000.
Right, right.
Technically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, after a while, I chalked it up to like, you know what? That makes sense because like, if you just tracking your wins, you're not tracking your losses and what you gotta, know what I'm saying, what you gotta do to recuperate or what you gotta do to like to correct the ship, right?
Exactly.
So if you're tracking your losses and you got losses or whatever,
Making sure you
and
got
you're
one, you
winning
got
at the same
again.
time, exactly. So you know what? Bow. I might have made 100,000, 150,000 this year, but I lost 80,000. So technically, I only made like 70,000. Like, what can I do to like right that ship?
But
Because
if it's
like,
a lesson, you ain't lose nothing.
That's
Yeah.
true.
that's a fact. But most people don't see it like that. They see it as like a win is a win.
And this is why I love stuff like this, because you have to be able to define a loss to you may not be a loss to me.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
We did a fashion show, right? Shout to my partner, shout to Boss Man, shout to MA, shout to Paper Legacy. You know what I'm trying to say? Shout to Cypher City TV, Battle on the Beat, right? We did a fashion show, right? And the mentality of the fashion show was like, okay, the models, right? So now, look at how the two spectrums of it, right? My boys looking at it like, yo, they left with all the sweaters. They had 2 looks. They left with all the sweaters. They left with all the hats. That's a loss.
Yeah.
Each sweater $65. That's $130 each person. Each hat is $20 if we want to make some profit. That's $40. That's $170 times 10. You do the math.
Right.
About $1,700. Check my math.
Yeah.
See how I broke that down?
Yeah.
He mad. I'm like, there's 15 people wearing our shit. And some of them it's their first time in a fashion show.
That's a fact.
And some of them are going to wear that shit for the rest of their life.
Exactly.
Some of that, their kid is going to pick up that sweater. That sweater has now become a household. That might be their favorite sweater. That might
Right.
be their sweater they wear to the
That's
store.
gonna be their
That might be
to the gym,
their
to the
go-to
anywhere.
sweater.
And that's funny she said that because like if I make some shit right, and I tell people all the time, like sometimes I don't mind giving out shit for free, like especially to people that's gonna really promote it, right? Because I say like this, like I'm not gonna give out the real prices of my shit, but just say if I only spend like $30 or $40 for a sweatsuit, right? I tell people all the time, listen, you can literally start a business with like $50.
100%.
How can I make a business? I said
100%.
I can try to take that $50, right, and turn that $50 into $300, right?
Yeah.
Just off of 2 products, right? And they're like, yo, man, listen, $300, right?
Right.
And if you want to get creative, because I'm from the streets, you can
100%.
I could tell you how to take that $300 and turn that $300 into like $2,400. They're like, it's impossible. I'm like, it's not impossible.
It's
'cause
not impossible.
if I'm selling sweatsuits back from $150 each, right, and hypothetically speaking, I'm paying $30, $40 a sweatsuit, Like, how much do you think you really paying? Like I said, it's just a hypothetical number. Most people don't look at it. They look at it as a loss. Don't look at it as a loss because, okay, you might have gave away or lost like 10 sweaters or whatever, but you spend back and you spend like $180. You can recoup that loss. And not only do you recoup that loss, but now you got a network. Yeah. And you got people, a different audience that's wearing your shit or whatever. Yeah. So like that's what I said. Like people, you can focus on the losses or whatever, but at the same time, you gotta see like what's the positives that's coming behind that. And I always look at the positive. Like as long as my network grow, I don't really care about the network because the network's gonna come out.
So after the network, we got robbed of all our inventory one year, like our first year.
I hate this shit.
Parked right in front of his building in Harlem. And we looking at it like, damn, this is who we putting on for.
Yeah.
And we see, I remember I was to the point like, I hope I see somebody wearing these fucking hats. Like, that's me on the team. I'm me on the team. I'm running down on somebody like, where you want that hat at? Nah, I need to see a receipt, my nigga.
Right.
Nah, we going to your house.
Right.
I need to see a receipt. Nah, wildin'.
Like, you didn't buy that. I know everybody I sold to.
That was a loss. But it was a setback.
Yeah.
That made my boy realize, now he live upstate. See where I'm going with it?
Right. More rural, you know, about shit getting missing.
He work MTA, he do his own thing.
Yeah.
Now he do his own thing. But I say all that to say like, the loss or the lesson, right? It was a loss in the moment because we had to, but we not start from scratch either. We start from experience, right? We adapt, we move forward, we figure it out, right? But it's also like, what did we learn with this shit? Why the fuck you got all your shit in the trunk? We need a space now. We need a storage. Shit that you don't realize. Because once you have a space, that's when a motherfucker take you seriously.
I'd rather learn lessons in the beginning as opposed to when it's too late.
You know what I'm saying? Even in the end, I want to learn lessons.
Like, I'm not like, it hurt at first when I took that. Like, people don't know, like, I don't know if nobody say 10K is 10K. I don't know if you're rich, you're a millionaire, 10K is 10K, right? Bruh. So it's like, when you lose that type of shit,
$10, bro.
It's a lot of bread.
That could be your lunch.
So when you lose that type of bread, you like, yo, I'm never making that excuse again. That decision again, because you see like relationships, like even relationships, like if you're in a toxic relationship that's fucked up or whatever, you know, like, nah, this is 15 years, I'm never doing that again, right?
I ain't gonna lie, I made it a couple times. I ain't gonna hold you.
Nah, but you know, when you get a certain,
I made it a couple times.
When you get a certain age in life, you say, you know, enough is enough because we ain't gonna be here forever, right? So like, it's the same thing with business. When you start taking like, when you take losses, like I'm telling you. Only real bosses, real boss, not this bullshit that people just say, oh, I'm a boss. How many checks do you actually cut? How many people's on your payroll? You know what I'm saying? How much merchandise? I don't want to hear you're a boss and then like you got some, no shade to the motherfuckers that's doing 1 or 2 pieces, whatever, do what y'all do. But don't like over exaggerate your boss, like your boss status if you're getting 1 piece done, right?
Right.
You're not fucking. You're not.
Yo, you about to make me talk some shit.
No, I'm telling you because
nah. I think I underplay my boss. You gotta because I believe a leader shows you what to do.
Exactly.
A boss tells you what to do.
Exactly.
It does not mean I don't have ownership.
Exactly.
And I respect the boss mentality. That's why I said I think I underplay my boss shit because a lot of people are like, nigga, you the boss, and I be like, nah.
Okay.
I am though.
You see what I'm saying?
See what I'm saying? I know I'm the boss.
We don't gotta expand on that. You know what I'm saying? Especially with people that we're around. With me, if I'm around people, don't call me your boss. Listen, we're working together, right? At the end of the day,
100%.
I want to show you exactly how I'm getting it,
100%.
and I want to make a lane for you. My thing is this: anybody that comes aboard on the team or whatever, I want to create a lane for you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna always have like them. They got their own lane or whatever, right? Me being invited to their lane is like, it's a positive. It's like me. It's like, thank you. Y'all didn't have to do that, 100%. Right? You know what I'm saying? This is Friday night. They don't have to be here right now. Like, yo, shot, let's do the podcast shit or whatever.
There's no place I'd rather be.
But see, and look, and this is dope when you actually have a team that wants to work and say, you know what, whatever, but you don't treat them like workers. At the end of the day, they're way more valuable than they might even think of it. Like I tell them all the time, like, yo, like I really adore and appreciate y'all because I'm not moving like,
teamwork.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna move like no fuck. This is our shit.
I love that.
Whatever y'all want to do, we all whatever. It's all equal rights. There's none of that bullshit. I don't do that shit or whatever. Cause at the end of the day, I'm gonna make sure y'all motion is good, right? Yep. I'm gonna make sure on top of y'all motion being good or whatever, y'all gonna make money. Yep. I don't fuck. Y'all gonna always make money. Most people don't. Let me say something. People don't want to tap in.
If every person in your crew is rich, your crew is rugged. Nobody will fall because everyone will be each other's crutches.
But you want to know, what's crazy though? But you got a lot of niggas that they're so selfish, right? To the point where it's like,
because they never had nothing.
Exactly. They don't want to.
You gotta understand that, and you gotta understand when nobody never had nothing. And I came from nothing.
Yeah,
it's not an excuse. Yeah. But you gotta understand, like, it's the choices you make.
Yeah.
You either choose to evolve or you choose to stay the same, and that's okay.
Right.
If you ever get a chance, pick up a book. It's called Who Moved My Cheese. That book changed my life. 2 books that changed my life because I was homeless at the time.
Yeah.
I was a teenage boy, starting point guard in my basketball team, at least top 3 in grades, like valedictorian material, all that. I was sleeping on the A train.
Right.
I was coming in 6 in the morning, showering because I was on the basketball team, showering in school. I had a little shorty used to bring me my clothes, pressed and all that.
Shout out to Shorty.
Shout to the shorty. Shout out to Priscilla.
When we get rich,
Santiago.
you coming on board.
Priscilla, you was a real one. You was a real one, Priscilla.
And Red. We're just gonna say Red because I know if I put her whole name out there.
You're gonna be tight.
Red, no, they used to let me
You did
stay
the
in their
thing.
cribs and all that. And they
Shout out
probably
to
was the only
Priscilla.
2 that knew I was homeless at the time. And I'm talking about like starting point guard, like Pete, like the same thing I am right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was leaving all that and going to the A train.
With me, I be wanting to teach everybody so bad because you know why? Me coming up, right? I know what it's like to like, you have all the greatest ideas in the world.
No
you have
resources.
the hottest shit.
No
No
resources.
resources. And
Yeah.
even
No
when
resources.
you do have the resources, I know I had the resources, but
What
when
you
I
do with it?
went to the resource, you know what they said?
Yeah.
Oh, I got you, Shy. I got you, Shy,
Yeah.
right? I'm not gonna shout his name out, right? But like, Shy, he was one of the top
Air him out.
designers in
Nah,
South
I'm fucking
Jamaica,
with you. I'm fucking
Queens.
with you.
One of the top designers in South Jamaica, Queens. Shout out to him. He's
But the reality of it is, we where we supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
If that's what you believe. Once again,
Right.
it's all a choice, right?
Yeah.
Like when I wake up in the morning, I can decide whether the sun is rising or whether the sun is setting.
Right.
At that moment, that's how my day is gonna go. If I wake up like, that's my day right there.
Right,
It's
right,
gone.
right.
But now I might get a little lit or something to fake it till I make it. But nah, reality is I ain't give thanks for that day.
right.
If I wake up like,
Ready to start the day.
Cause me, I'm
You know
not
what
gonna
I'm
lie.
saying?
I be always like, not that I be hype. I get aggravated fast, right? So like,
do.
I don't know. Some shit happened like a few weeks ago, right? And I'm aggravated, right? So they hear whatever, and I'm like, this nigga needs to just calm down, right? So she's like, and Tiffany like, just calm down. It's okay.
find your happy place.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, what? I'm ready to go the fuck off, like you know you. But you know what it is? When you have somebody who brings that type of balance or whatever, because like I don't care how old you are, how old the person is, whatever, they can always bring you that type of balance, right? Where it's like, yo, listen, let me level you out because like it's not that serious or whatever. And especially to a person who takes like me, I take everything like
You're very passionate about
yeah.
it.
You may not know
and I
no
get
better.
so yeah. I
Black
mean,
man, you may not know no better.
and guess what? And this is why I tell people all the time, like females, like a woman can. They're valuable to
There's
life.
nothing like a woman's
without-
touch. I agree
Yeah,
with that.
yeah. You're not gonna ever get.
There's nothing like a
past
woman's touch.
That.
Yeah.
And actually, when she said that, I took a deep breath. I said, "You're right."
No, to add on
I said,
to that,
this person is
I
done.
agree.
That's it. It's over.
I said, you're right. I said, you know what? Because usually I get like stressed out,
And it
pressure
costs-
going
and it
up.
costs
I'm like,
how much? It costs how much to remove that person?
yo,
not.
but you know what it is?
not-
And
See what I
this
did-
is-
see what I
and
did
know
there,
what?
though?
And this is why when you have a team,
You
right?
have to look at it that
And
way. Yes.
I might talk to him all day at work, right? He's an electrician. I'm a laborer. I might talk to her whatever whenever she has time because she's at work too or whatever. And that brings balance because I don't want to speak to everybody because everybody don't have their best interest. Everybody's all about, oh shit, should I be around no bad bitches? What I can do to get him with that? Oh, like, you know
me, I
what?
know, bro.
Oh, I got a little business or whatever. He can help me get some money just for now. Everybody's just for like the.
I can't even-
It's just for like the.
I can't even
the
date.
short
I
term
can't even
type
date
shit.
because of that energy. I'm gonna keep it a stack.
Yeah, that shit is.
'Cause
That shit
I've
is
been
draining.
chilling. I'll give you one quick story. I remember I was chilling with this one girl. She swore up and down, and she didn't want nothing to do with none of that. Next thing I know, she's a whole like record label. Like what the fuck? Like nah. The thing is just like. Keep it real, man. Like I've had chicks swear up and down to me, and I be like,
No, that's crazy you said that.
That's
'cause I was
crazy,
dead ass
I'm
saying
telling
I'm a
you.
rapper now.
you see what I'm saying?
No, but you're
But
not
this
doing
shit right here-
You're not doing it maliciously.
Yeah.
You got people who's around you like, oh, I won't do this, but
Yo.
next thing you know, you turn around and
But
they doing
this shit right
exactly
here,
what you're doing.
The niggas is worse than the women.
That's crazy.
Oh,
nah,
yeah,
yeah, that's a
hell
fact.
yeah.
Though. That's a
Absolutely.
fact. That's a fact.
Bro,
1,000%.
Bro.
1,000%.
it's I've had niggas try to use their girl to get cool with me
Weird shit, yeah.
just so they could get in the mix.
Weird.
Just so like
that's
you
bad
said,
for
they
them.
could
If they
could
really
post the box.
Yeah, weird
It go
shit.
back to what you just said, right? Shout to my team. We have the relationships with these people.
Right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Right. That's it.
But respectfully, if I post this it's not the only eighth I got.
Right.
It's not. I didn't buy a zip of them either. We're just gonna leave it at that.
Right.
I'm promoting a product
Not too much for the net.
that I have full access to.
Right.
To the point where I can give it away.
Right.
That go over your head. But that stream, bruh, that's everybody want that lane.
Right.
You understand where I'm going with it?
Yeah, but
Not realizing
like,
it took me 5 years, almost 6-7 years of at one point doing sessions, underground sessions, 7 days a week. 2020.
That's how we met.
2020, I was doing 7 days a week sessions, sometimes 2 sessions
you don't know
a day.
going to
That's how
being
we
a
met.
boss. Like it's a lot. Like
And you gotta remember, in that sesh, I done seen people get shot, die, headshot. I done seen people get robbed. I done seen people get arrested. I done seen
Beat up.
raids.
Yep, raids.
I done seen an event where, shout out to Mad Max, where we at the event and motherfucker come to the door and start shooting into the event from the door. Don't let that go over your head.
Haters gonna
It's
hate.
a whole space. He put his gun through the door and just started shooting. Boop, 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 boop. And we all like, oh! And the culture we live in, you gonna dance for 5 seconds before you realize it's gunshots.
I ain't gonna lie.
Oh,
Like,
shit.
oh, they got it lit
This
over
my
here.
shit. Hold on. I know that was a gunshot, but this my shit. Let it
Hold
play
on,
out.
man, you right? Boom, boom. You got a whole room,
Yo.
niggas like, boom, boom, boom.
Yo,
Niggas might
listen.
pull out their straps and just start
They'll
shooting
think
in
that's
the
the
air.
music and be like, yo, big
Listen.
tune.
Yes, he does.
And
I support
you know,
it.
it's crazy.
Work
People who's not like, and again, there's no shade to them. People who's not like bosses or entrepreneurs, they don't get the 7 days. Like we might work a month straight, might not
Nah, if
make
they not working,
a
shade
penny.
to them.
We might not make no money at all. But guess what?
Nah, if they
We
not
work
working,
that
shade
month,
to them. Because that's the problem.
Right.
We got a bunch of people that don't want to work.
Right.
They want to watch you work and then be like, oh,
Yeah,
let me
come in.
get that.
Yeah.
Heavy on the I support
This
it.
mine.
Yup.
This what I do now.
Right.
Yup.
Where you got that from?
And I'm not
You're
gonna
not even
lie.
gonna say where you got it from?
I'm not gonna lie, Pete. I dealt with a lot of that shit.
You're gonna deal with
And
it.
took-
That's the world
She
we in
never
right
let me
now.
live it down. But you know what it is? Now I realize now, no matter how sorry you want to feel for people,
Can't.
They can't
Don't.
afford your grace.
Cause that's all
They can't
game.
afford your
That's
grace.
all
At
like
no
that's all
point
game.
did you ever learn
But
how to
don't
play a
lose your
violin.
imagination.
So who gives a
Yeah.
shit about their sad story,
Right.
their struggles? You got your own struggle.
Listen, y'all about to be mad at me, but we gotta wrap this shit
Nah,
up.
let's wrap
we
it
gotta
up.
have Pete
Listen,
back.
we do part
no,
two.
no,
Yeah,
we gotta
part
have
two.
Pete
Yeah,
back. We gotta have Pete back.
part two.
Hey, yo,
Yeah.
shout out to the Straight to a Podcast,
Love
man.
that.
I got Pete Colon, the go-to guy at his Instagram. He definitely pulled up to the spot. Tiffany, I love you so much. You pulled up sick and everything, man.
that.
Nah,
We love
fuck.
Tiff.
Y'all didn't know she was sick.
That's that Libra
She was
shit.
fucking sick, and
She got
still
COVID 38.
Tiff
pulled
work
up.
crazy
Hell yeah.
too.
Still pulled
the
up.
same work ethic I'm talking about is the same work ethic that Tiff had, which is why we here.
Yep.
Let's just keep it
And
real.
there's
I'm here on a
nothing-
personal invite from Tiff to give.
There's
Respectful
nothing like
fact,
being
yeah.
at a table with a bunch of bosses because
100%.
like minds think alike,
They
and
do.
we definitely do a part 2 of this. Again, shout out to Pete Colon,
Yes.
and we're gonna definitely get to it next time. The go-to guy, holla at him. It's your
Holla at
it's your
him.
host, Busy.
She used to work at King of Diamonds on a Monday.